because it just relieves one of our driving fatigue. But it is still people who are really driving. Therefore, driving still needs to be controlled by people. So today, I'm here to test drive the bracket board of this Poster 06 DMI with everyone. The main thing is to see how many brackets it has. Let's have a good experience with this video. Well, we actually know. The Eye of God C released by BYD this time is the bracket system that our car carries. It should be regarded as a support system for a leading flower carrier currently used by all BYD models. So when we use this system to price it to hundreds of thousands of models, we will find that self-driving will no longer be so far away from us. It really means that it's within reach. Everyone can now use self-driving cars. The Eye of God C, this system is actually what we call the Pilto 100. It is mainly used for high-speed navigation. We will experience one of its bracket functions on a fast road section in Chengdu today. Okay, I don't say much. Let's go. So now we have entered the highway. So now we can see that self-driving navigation can be turned on at the top of the screen. Then we can open the stent now. On the left-hand side, we have a bracket on the left-hand side of the steering wheel. There is a pick. See? It's already on. You can actually see it. The whole operation is very smooth. Now we have joined the main road. It has begun to accelerate now. The weather for our test drive today is not very good. The rain is very heavy outside. Actually, during the test drive, we must be particularly careful with this test. You need to keep your hands from leaving the steering wheel at all times. Then we can take a look. When there was a van behind me, it canceled the lane change. Now the truck is left. When we need to merge into the main road, it immediately changed course again. Intelligent driving assistance is actually for our daily use. In fact, it is effective to relieve your driving fatigue. But you can't easily rely too much on smart driving. Keep your attention on your road and steering wheel, because it just relieves one of our driving fatigue. But it is still people who are really driving. Therefore, driving still needs to be controlled by people. What it shows is wisdom avoiding. It detected this big truck behind. It's faster than ours. Therefore, it wisely avoided the situation and did not divert the traffic to pass the car in front of us. Although this road is said to be an expressway. But we can see that there are a lot of traffic vehicles on the entire road. The traffic situation is still quite complicated, so we went to the test drive of this car very much. Whether it can achieve no takeover of the entire vehicle. We can see that the car in front is at a distance. It should be about 20 meters. It slowed down immediately under such circumstances. Its deceleration is still quite obvious, so we can take a look. We have a ramp that needs to change here. Let's take a look at one way it is handled. We just changed lanes ahead of schedule. Now our on-ramp. The road in this direction is relatively slow to block, but we can see that the following distance we have set now is relatively long. Then on rainy days, I think using a stent, it is relatively safe for you to use this wide following distance. We're here now. He also turned on the turn signal. Turn on the turn lights and then change lanes. You can see that this operation is still very good. The entire lane change process is still very slippery. There is no sudden braking. Changing paths is also relatively decisive. Look to our left. He judged that the car on the right would be slower than us, so we changed lanes and overtook. This judgment is very smooth. It should be called prediction. This smart driving version of Poster 06 DMI. It has a total of 29 sensors. There are also 5mm wave radars.
12 ultrasonic radars.
There are 3 front-facing cameras ahead. There are 3 cameras above. And 4 cameras on the side of the car. And 4 ring cameras. And we have a camera in the back of the car. These 29 cameras ensure that they can provide us with sufficient visual processing data on hardware. And after continuous training, this data. Let the Eye of the God C handle it better. Look ahead, it's the toll booth. So we need to pick up all the steering wheel and accelerator brakes. Let's now experience its smart parking. First of all, we have to select and activate this smart parking function. It's identifying parking spaces. I see this car now. Let's just try this soup. Light the blue one. This distance is not enough for an old driver. Just now, we went to the expressway to try the high-speed navigation function. In fact, the whole thing came down. I have seen it in one place. Why? I may think it's the weather. It will affect some of its production functions. Because first of all, on rainy days, the rain is relatively heavy. Then the vehicles on the traffic road are also very large. Moreover, it is a road section that reaches a change path to enter the main road. So at that time, it handles it more carefully. So at this time, when it was difficult for him to handle. Hey, there is no problem if we take over manually. The eye of the God sees in terms of high and fast navigation. I think it is still worthy of our trust. In addition, we just went to experience one of its automatic parking functions while we were at the dead-end road and the carnage. Hey, these are really good. The difference between the left and right where it stops is not big, and the entire car was parked neatly. He is also an old driver who has entered the country, so if we actually stop in a narrow parking space, use this function when people cannot enter. We can really leave after closing the door, right? Don't worry too much about how to get off when I park the car. And there is another benefit. You use this function in familiar scenarios. I can stand in a fixed position. I waited for my car to drive in and out. This is also very convenient, especially when you have a lot of things in your hands. Well, after our entire experience. I think Angel IC is still very good. It reduces our driving fatigue while parking and on our fast roads. I think you don't do anything. But there is one thing I want to remind everyone. Don't rely too much on smart driving. People are still the main driver of the car. Smart driving can only help us reduce driving fatigue and give us better safety guarantees in some scenarios. So Angel IC, you should come and experience it quickly.